welcome all of you here tonight. This is the time where we recognize visitors. Visitors may address the Board of Education on any items germane to the role and function of the Board of Education. When so directed, the person should stand, move to the podium, give their name and address, and begin their statement. Persons are asked to refrain from making any personal comments regarding any individual. I reserve the right to limit presentations to 5 minutes. With that said, I have one request, and that is from Barb Sherwin.
My name is Barb Sherwin. I live at 645 Columbus Avenue. In October of this year, my father-in-law passed away. He was a retired teacher, and I had spoken to him about the strike just days before he passed. It took a long time for him to find his words, but he was able to tell me in the 35 years he taught, they never had to go on strike. He went on to say he thought it was because each side respected the other. I didn't follow the strike that closely, but it didn't take long to see. Each side has certainly lost a lot of respect for each other. What's even more sad and concerning is the students are the biggest casualties of your dispute. In early September, my youngest daughter, a 2012 GHS graduate, asked many of her friends how 6th Day would have affected them. Not one of them replied with a response that it was no big deal. They said things like their grades would have suffered and they may not have gotten into their prospective colleges. The comment that summed it up best was, "There's just no way." I understand you're within your legal rights, but the results are not manufactured products that will be put on back order. Your signed contract itself starts off with a preamble. In short, it says, the board and the GEA recognize that the aim of public schools is to provide the best education possible for the children and youth in the district. To this end, the board and GEA recognize the need for partnership in the improvement of education in District 205. You cannot shorten a school calendar and still say you're providing the best education possible or in any way improving education for District 205 students. AP students' education has been docked all 11 days of the strike. 5 of the 6 shortened calendar days occur in the 2nd semester and 4 of those days in the 4th quarter. The 5 strike days, which are being made up, and the snow days are all added to the end of the calendar. Park assessments end on May 20th. More concerning, AP exams end on May 15th. This only adds to the loss of instructional days prior to park assessments and AP exams. Every board member has a college degree, and 4 of you have graduate degrees. These tests are for students who aspire to achieve what you already have. AP students have been docked a minimum of 11 educational days prior to their exams, something no other AP student of District 205 has ever been faced with. There are some students who are taking as many as 6 AP classes this year. Some have said they're not worried about the students who are at the top of their class because they'll do whatever it takes. Now 6 AP teachers are supposed to figure out how to give the same education to this year's students. As they did to prior students. These students and teachers have to figure out how to make up 11+ days outside of their standard classroom setting. The quote, "There's just no way," could become a harsh reality for some. There's no way to prove the effects of a shortened school calendar on students until it's too late. The students who are juniors and seniors and plan on attending college could be considered the district's pipeline students. They put the most time in and will suffer the greatest consequences. I wonder who would suffer a bigger financial loss, a pipeline teacher or one of these students. There's no room for error. Just one class could lower a student's GPA and potentially cost them tens of thousands of dollars in grants, scholarships, and financial aid. Realistically, it could cost them their chance for admission into the university they hope to attend. Also, I personally cannot stand by after talking to the parents who tell me every day of speech or physical therapy matters in their child's life. I personally refuse to stand by and wait to see if a student's GPA drops or if they don't do as well on their AP exams. I don't know if the parents of the students of Bright Futures or the parents of Reading Recovery students understand yet what they will lose in the second semester. Perhaps some of these issues have already been addressed. I've had brief contact with Mr. Arthur and Mr. Panther, so I understand the district is not sitting back and doing nothing. I am submitting a written correspondence with questions I believe the community deserves answers to. By presenting the questions in this way, I believe it gives you the chance to discuss and present clear and precise answers, which we are entitled to receive. There's a lot we can and will do to minimize the effects of the shortened school calendar. I'm sincerely concerned, no matter what precautions we take, there will still be students who will be casualties of the shortened school calendar. So I have to make one last plea. The best way to minimize the effects, the best way you can truly uphold the preamble of the signed contract is to at least give some days back to the students. Please don't allow this ongoing feud over the strike to stand in the way of giving the students back what they deserve. If we all agree we want what's best for the kids, then why are we only trying to minimize the effects of the shortened school calendar? Thank you.
Some questions that you submitted, and we'll look those over. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on, we have the next item. I guess that's the only one that we have tonight.